Ah, the Care Bears. The perfect example of an 80s cartoon. A series based on a line of stuffed bears that were originally mascots for a greeting card company. And for a while, it was everywhere. One of those franchises every kid participated in. Because, hey, it's a Care Bear. A gender-neutral toy that's supposed to teach you about love and stuff. The first toy I ever got was this little stuffed Tenderheart that my grandmother gave me the day I came home from the hospital. So if you were a kid in the 80s, Care Bears just wasn't a franchise. It was an institution. But you have to remember this was the 80s, and as cute and gentle and emotionally nurturing as some characters were, bad guys were still bad guys back then. This is true even of the Care Bear franchise. The evil spirit in the book from Care Bears the movie. They could have totally phoned that villain in, but she ended up being genuinely creepy and malicious.
It's too late to stop now. You must finish what you started. There's no turning back.
It was never meant for the world of the living.
She's the one almost everyone remembers. But even before her, the Care Bears had another villain. I'd say the perfect villain for them. Someone whose heart was so cold and cruel that his only goal was to spread misery wherever he went.
Someone cold and heartless. Someone like him.
That's right. It's Professor Coldheart. Professor Coldheart was introduced in the first Care Bear animated special, The Land Without Feelings. Before this, the Care Bears had been featured in a lot of what we today would call motion comics. But aside from being animated in only the loosest terms, most of these stories dealt with the behavior of kids. Being a good sport, behaving in school, being brave when you visit the doctor. The obstacles are yourself kind of stuff. So at the time, the Care Bears going up against an actual bad guy was kind of a foreign idea. The special opens up with these two kids.
I'm not moving. They can't make me. Parents can make you do anything. I'm not going. I'll run away. That's what I'll do.
So we pan up to see that the economic slump has even affected God, since he's taken to cloud maintenance, as he gives us our tour of Carolot.
Tonight is the night we give the Bear of the Month award to the bear who cares the most.
Remember kids, love is quantitative, so bye. So anyway, the Care Bears are having a great time, until...
Hey, listen.
You're my best friend, and I'll never see you again. I'll never see anything I like again.
It's coming from down there.
So the Care Bears can hear everything.
Bet you didn't think we could hear them all the way up here.
When do they stop? I mean, is there a cutoff point? Because I know I've done things that I wouldn't want the Care Bears to know about.
That makes me feel terrible.
We've come to show you someone cares.
We'll always be your friends, no matter what happens.
Yeah? Can you stop my parents from moving?
Well, no.
But we can help you feel better.
Whenever you see the symbols on our tummies, you know you have a friend.
I don't care.
Now, I know people like to take the term "I don't care" as a literal interpretation of apathy towards a situation, but try to take a look at it in this context.
My dress, look at it. That was a terrible thing to do.
I don't care.
So much like "screw you" or "up yours," I like to think of "I don't care" as the most G-rated way to say, go fuck yourself.
I don't want friends anymore. Besides, it's better not to have any. Kevin, don't say that.
So rather than talk about his feelings, he decides to basically give up on life and start the long walk into the cursed earth. Anyway, the Care Bears show up to comfort Donna. Oh, her name is Donna, by the way. When Kevin somehow walks into a magical realm where everything has at least one face minimum.
I was told about a beautiful place that was treated cold and ugly by a mean man. It was called the Land Without Feelings.
The Land Without Feelings? This is a public park. Look, you can even see it at the entrance. And it's walking distance from the town. First of all, how freaking big is this place? Who sets aside this much space for a park? Unless, you're in New Zealand. Is it like Narnia and the park is just a gateway? How long has it been like this? I guess long enough to garner the reputation of the Land Without Feelings. What's that? You looking for McKillop Street? Okay, what you're going to do is stay on this road and go down about 5 blocks. You're going to take a right and keep on going until you pass the Land Without Feelings. You can't miss it. It's just across from a Denny's. Now this is common sense, but I should tell you that whatever you do not go into the Denny's. So as we go deeper into municipal property lot 743, aka the Land Without Feelings, we are finally introduced to our star.
What's
I
that?
don't care. I'm not gonna do it.
Ah, a new guest. I must go welcome him.
Okay, how much do you love that voice? It's so transparently evil. Like he's been gargling with mouthwash made from orphan baby seal tears and broken glass.
Are you the boy who doesn't care?
Seriously, I want this guy to release a Christmas album.
Allow me to introduce myself. They call me Professor Cold Heart. I'm cold and cruel and crafty. But wait, here comes the best part. I'll freeze your feelings cold as ice and chill your cares. Oh, that sounds nice. So listen, here's some sound advice. Be smart. Don't mess with the professor. Cutting, clever, cold heart. Creepy, crafty, cutting, clever, cold heart. Don't mess with the professor. Cold hearts.
Call the police.
Shall we go to my castle? You won't have a care in the world.
I don't.
Care? Good.
What the hell was that? That's the laugh of a man that plans to reenact Michael. Go ahead, Google it. It's going to be the next Serbian film. Okay, honestly, can this situation get any worse?
Break up, my boy.
Oh my god!
Okay, no joke. This was horrifying to watch as a kid.
Quiet, slave.
Why hasn't any authority tried to stop the crazy from converting a public park into his own personal dominion, abducting children, and turning them into Cthulhu spawn? They're the places where you walk your dog, where your children play, and where families grow. But every day in America, another public park is taken over by an evil wizard. And I tell you what, people, we can expect another 4 years of Obama turning a blind eye to roaming gangs of witches, warlocks, sorcerers, and malevolent elementals that terrorize you and your community on a daily basis. Well, I guess it's up to the Care Bears to save the day. And I'm surprised to say I've forgotten just how effective some of these Care Bear powers are. Most people remember the stare, but these guys can use those tummy symbols for just about anything.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Unfortunately, Coldheart seems equally prepared for every contingency.
This'll cool you off. Colorful little trick. Colors fade quickly here.
That is, except for the power of Deus Ex Machina.
I wish we were all in the castle right now.
I knew nothing would happen.
How did you get here?
Never mind.
But this turn of events doesn't really seem to bother the professor until the Care Bears use their secret weapon.
The Care Bear stare!
The what?
Oh! Now you fucked up!
So the kids are turned back to normal by the historic first use of the Care Bear stare, and Coldheart is chased off by the forces of nature. So this is still a magical forest. Okay. That would make one hell of a Parks and Recreation episode. Yeah, I know, it's still on. 5th season. I know, I'm just as surprised as you. But Coldheart is not gone for good. He shows up again in the next Care Bears animated special. This time with a bumbling henchman named Frostbite, get it? And a machine that will freeze the entire town, a la Batman and Robin. But this device isn't nearly up to par.
You've ruined my careless ray contraption. Who's going to help me fix it? That boy.
Yeah, Coldheart's been hanging around town, lurking behind corners and watching bullies pick on kids. Which is how you had to do it before YouTube.
I'll get even with you. You just wait and see.
So, he wants to get even, does he?
Yeah, Moss? You okay? You've been just staring at the wall for the past couple minutes. No matter what the Care Bears say, they just can't convince Paul not to go with the revenge plan. Worse yet, they're so distracted they don't even notice the baby bears, Hugs and Tugs, have been kidnapped by Coldheart. So what's he gonna do? Tie them up, put them in a cage, or freeze them in baby Care Bear-sized ice trays? Oh god, he's kicking them! But luckily the Care Bears come just in time to... Naturally, the horror of baby animal abuse, citywide paralysis, and a villain song that's not as good as the one in the first special, snaps Paul to his senses. He teams up with the Care Bears to unfreeze the town, chase off Coldheart, and finally make some friends in the closing credits. However, just like a bad cold, the professor just moves on from one place to another. After the specials, Deke Animation picked up the Care Bears for a regular series, and Coldheart would serve as the main villain alongside Frostbite, and a new character, Antifreeze. I assumed she was Coldheart's relative, until the episode where he tries to marry her as part of an evil scheme.
Yeah, but boss, I thought you were in love with my aunt.
So wait, there's more than one family of discolored ice-powered mutants? Let me just run this through Ancestry.com. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
Disgusting, isn't it?
So basically, the series worked like this. Coldheart would keep his eyes peeled for some kid. Someone he could easily manipulate into helping him make life miserable for everyone else.
Gosh, it's so crowded here, there's hardly any room for me to skate. I wish there was more sidewalk.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Who are you?
Professor Coldheart's the name, and concrete is my game. Ah, concrete's wonderful, child. No better surface in the world for skating.
What about ice? No, concrete. But you actually look like a guy who could make a lot of... Okay, first, concrete is the only way the premise of this episode works. And second, what you just said there, that is so racist. So he already had the machine, but I guess he thought the best person to help him mix heavy bags of concrete was a 60-pound little girl. That's another thing that separated him from the other magic-based villains in the Care Bears franchise. Coldheart always used crazy inventions to spread chaos, misery, or just mess with the Care Bears.
You'll never escape. I've designed these bars to repel all warmth. You can't even touch them.
He's right, but our friends will get us out.
No, they won't, because they won't be able to see you.
Hey! Let us out of here!
Help! Help!
So you made them invisible, but they can still call for help.
I still don't know if you're smart or stupid.
The only time he used something that even resembled magic was when he made a mirror that inversed your traits.
Last, the magic mirror is mine.
And this ice is from the foundation beneath the castle?
Yes, Antifreeze. That ice has been soaking up my evil vibrations for years.
So it's magical science. You only need to explain as much as you like to feel smart. But the one episode I will always remember is when he opened up a magic shop. He finds another little girl to be his patsy.
Would you like a part-time job after school?
Like it? I'd love it.
You know, you think by now they'd actually name one of these kids Patsy, you know, just to be meta about it? But here's the thing. Coldheart is not actually the bad guy. The little girl has two friends who already seem like a couple of assholes, and they steal one of Coldheart's inventions. Then they go around town shooting people with a ray that makes them act nasty to each other.
My unfeeling ray is working better than I could have imagined.
So, wait, did Coldheart know that this specific little girl had two horrible friends that would steal the ray gun and start wrecking what?
I will make more unfeeling rays in my magic shop for everyone to have.
Naturally, seeing how effective it was on school children, everyone in town wanted to run out and get one of Cold Heart's inventions. Because apparently owning a device that can make people miserable is a great weekend hobby, even when it involves a clearly deranged person or two.
Oh, no, you don't, Professor Coldheart. The Care Bears will stop you.
Tenderheart, he has done nothing we haven't done to ourselves.
Disgusting, isn't it?
But in 1986, Nelvana, the studio that made the first two Care Bear movies, took over animation production from Deke. They not only implemented the style used in the movies, but dropped Coldheart as the main villain and replaced him with villains most of us remember today.
There's no justice.
But I'll always remember Coldheart as the first in a long line of admirable villains. Hell, I'll even give points to the last Deke incarnation of Care Bears for introducing Grizzly, a non-Care Bear with a Napoleon complex and a giant mech suit.
I'm an intensive Care Bear.
Like I said before, the Care Bears never had a villain. Never needed one with the types of stories they were telling. Or did they? Merchandising aside, the Care Bears have done good to present life lessons that are actually useful. All except one up to the point of Coldheart's appearance. While he fits in well with the whimsical, extraordinary nature of this world, Coldheart shares traits with people kids sadly might meet in the real world. He preyed on your anxieties and convinced you that caring wasn't going to help. But again, commercialization aside, the Care Bears never promised that if you're nice to each other, everything will be perfect. Shutting down, locking others out, or not caring isn't going to help. Hell, even mobsters need someone to talk to. They were more about you need to be nice to each other because the world is so messed up.
Oh, Billy? Billy, it's me. Cool Guy 69. I'm so excited to finally meet you. We're going to have a great time. I brought Snowcaps, Shaun White, and Smirnoff Ice.
Not saying another word until I speak to a lawyer.
You're as